Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this collective reading. Let's get started as I can pick on to some very intense energies, and I hope that this can help you, help anyone who is going through this kind of feeling. You might or might not resonate 100%. I have a bit of a sore throat, so I'm really sorry for that. But this is an important download, so I have to share it at the right time. Okay, so I can basically pick on to the energy of person of someone who is basically working on releasing the unhealthy patterns in your family, and you are trying to make sure that you don't pass them down to other people or your future generations. For some people, it would be like, don't you think it's like too far fetched or too much thinking about future kind of thing? So, people can pick on to your energy. People figure out that you are making some very strange decisions. It's for 3D people or more programmed people, but the ones who are doing inner work, they feel that you're very brave and powerful to be actually making this decision. You deciding to release the patterns, the generational curses, is really a big deal. Basically, you have also realized that you changing is not easy for you. It has been very painful, but you don't want to remain stuck in the same situation because you feel that it has been more painful. Now, you look at all the other people around you, a lot of them are in a limbo state. They're actually asleep, they're in some kind of uh, very strong kind of a spell, and you're not under that spell anymore. You were probably too, so you understand them. It's like you don't judge people for not being at that level where they are conscious and aware. You're not you're not also keeping space for toxic people in your life, but at the same time you are being very realistic that you need to heal, you need to work on yourself, and you're doing that. But there are a lot of people in your family or in your surroundings who don't know anything about healing. They don't think like that, and you've realized that. So they are not going to do that dirty job of cleaning the garbage. You have to do it. But at the same time, you don't have to judge them because once upon a time, you were also in the same state as they were. But you got lucky and you got awakened. But they're not that lucky. They're not that, or maybe in the next life, or maybe some other life, but not in this life. Or maybe not now, maybe later on. Who knows? Okay. So you also realize that wherever you have been in life, whatever is happening to you, it's not really your fault. It's nobody's fault. And you need to be a bit easy on yourself as well. So, this is the one that I picked just now, Eight of Swords. It's telling me that you do feel like you're in a trap, but you are also the one who's keeping yourself in this situation by giving importance to the pain, the negative memories, the negative thinking. Because you can see a lady in a blindfold in this card, surrounded by a wall, a sort of a makeshift wall of swords, which is not even a wall. Like, she's not, um, it's not blocking her way, it's not obstructing her way in any way, shape, or form. She can simply take the blindfold off and walk away at any given time. Now, this card is like a sign that you don't have to stay in that conditioning. Your mind would be trying a lot to keep you trapped in the negativity and years and years and years of conditioning. Your mind would also take you to blame game. And the cool thing is that you can hear these voices, you can recognize that these are not friendly voices. They don't mean well for you. You don't have to listen to these voices in your head. You don't have to listen to your mind. Your mind wants you to be stuck in it. Your mind wants you to entangle with it, be entangled. But You can take control of the mind and tell the mind to shut up and not get controlled by your thoughts. Like if you resonate with what I just said, you're in a very cool place, because this also means that your third eye is working better now. You're coming in alignment with your chakras more and more as time is passing. And third eye is like intuition, controlling your mind, connecting more and more with God. Where is the third eye placed? It's placed, this place is called temples, right? And it's right in the middle of the temples. It's such a powerful place, such a nice space to understand, nice information to work with actually. You have the power to rewire your subconscious mind. You have it. Amongst all the people in your family tree, in your generation, you are that chosen one. And the initial message that came to me was that you are being very tough on yourself and you need to be a bit more nicer to yourself. You need to just relax. You need to be okay with a lot of things and not overthink, because it's fine to be spiritually evolved and still want to beat some people. It's fine to be spiritually evolved and get angry and upset, because a lot of times we are raised in such a way, this is like a curse from one generation to another, that they don't want you to be yourself. Because if you're going to be yourself, you're not going to need a lot of things. You're not going to work hard for those things. You're not going to bother about those things. You're not going to care about those things, right? Everybody else is caring about those things. They're bothered about those things. They're going mental over those things. And you're like in that Zen state and you're like, I don't care about it. I don't give a shit about it. So it could also be possible that you've reached this stage in a very triggered form. Like you could have met some people who didn't care about a lot of things and they're much more happy and relaxed and chilled, and you are getting all worried and worked up. They may not be 100% right, they may not be 100% pure, they may not be having good habits. So there is, of course, a discord in your head because you're not really inspired by those people. But at the same time, you feel that though I'm all this nice and moralistic, but I still worry a lot. I still am not able to overcome a lot of patterns. Now, these patterns are coming from where? You basically have been questioning these patterns. You don't want to be in those patterns. You want to be in a very high vibrational space. You want to be like this cute baby unicorn. And we have the unicorn energy here also in this reading, which is trying to tell you that just be yourself, just be you. Because what's really happening with all the people around you, and this is a cool example. Imagine being bitten by a snake or a poisonous animal, okay? But instead of getting the medicine, getting the healing for it, getting the, you have to solve that problem. Someone's bitten you or someone's attacked you, an animal, a poisonous animal. What people are doing is they want to go to the snake or to that animal. They want to fight with that snake. They want to discuss. They want to talk about things, and they want to tell the snake like, I didn't deserve to get bitten by you, I didn't deserve this poison from you, blah blah blah. And time is ticking, right? So just think about it. This is not just for snakes or poisonous animal. This is what a lot of toxic people do to us. If you got bitten by the toxic people, or you got scammed by a toxic person, or you got fooled by someone like that, then you don't have to stay in that emotion or feeling. You have already figured it out that this is something which is not good for me, it's toxic for me. I need to remove this poison from my body or from my system. And we need to be thankful. Then someone will say, oh, why all these bad things happen to me? Why the snake bit me? God is so unfair. The snake bit you, or the toxic person bit you, or you are in some bad situation, but you're also getting the information. Go to the doctor, get the cure, get the medicine, and you can heal. This is just for your experience because you're out there in the woods, because you're doing a lot of cool things. Once in a while, this can happen. Most people, I think, the reason why people are suffering so much is because they are constantly programmed to be constantly happy and avoid any other emotion other than happiness. And I think there's a very good movie that one should watch. It's called Inside Out. It's such a good movie. I recommend it to a lot of people, and I'm recommending here also. Because this movie talks about how all emotions are important for us. But some people just want happy, rosy, jumping. Like, think about it. Can you be jumping around with joy 24 by 7? Is that normal? That's what you see in the movies. This is the exaggerated. First of all, it's imaginary. Secondly, it's over exaggerated when they say that a boy meets a girl, girl meets a boy, and oh, come on, there are 500 background dancers. In India, that happens. In the West, also, we see all these pop stars performing and talking about some nonsense feeling of theirs and exaggerating it and making it so rosy and so attractive, and it could be 100% wrong, like the playboy characters in the movie. When it comes to love and relationships, they show a lot of these characters doing a lot of immoral things. It's so cool to be a Casanova, it's so cool to be a playboy, it's so cool to be promiscuous. They show that, so people are also trying to do it because they think that look how happy they are, how well dressed they are. They're wearing all these brands, they're going to all these fancy hotels, they're swimming in fancy pools, and it's so cool the way they project it, the way they show it. Dude, it's all done with the help of 50, 100, 200, sometimes even 500 people. Every single scene that you see, it's like totally worked upon. From the makeup to the hair to the dialogues, sometimes they do 50 to 100 retakes of one scene. That's how it is being given to you. And to all the innocent and impressionable minds who are still learning how to be, how to conduct themselves, they think that all of this is going to make them happy. Or this pursuit of happiness, this constant pursuit of success and happiness, this is a curse that this generation especially is suffering from. I think most people are suffering from this pattern. And you have figured it out. If you have, there's a big question mark. Big question mark. Like, do you really want to be in this? Do you really want to step into it? I'm also being shown that you don't want to hold on to the pain and the suffering and the misery. You want to heal it. You want to release it. You don't want to sit with it all the time. Like you sat with it, you figured it out, certain things you don't need. Maybe you had to really reach to that crucial point that you're not angry on the others. You could have realized that all this while you were not really angry on other people, you were actually angry on yourself. And you were not forgiving yourself, you were forgiving everybody else. You're trying to, and you're not able to. We cannot forgive other people until and unless we don't forgive ourselves. We cannot forgive ourselves sometimes, even because of family members, even because of friendships. We always think, why didn't I know it? We mostly think, why? Why am I in this situation? Most people are like, who are good people. I'm talking about those who are doing inner work. They are mostly like this, that why wasn't I smart enough? Why wasn't I sharp enough? Why wasn't I intelligent enough? to be able to figure it out before getting into anything of this nature, which is eventually it hurt me or it can hurt me again. Well, if you keep replaying it in your mind, it's gonna hurt you all the time. The only way you know that you're not replaying it in your mind is by your own test, by your own self. An outsider cannot tell you. You yourself can say that yes. I mean, an outsider can tell you if they are very much skilled in this, or it's like their profession or something. But normally people don't know these things. You got to figure it out for yourself. That what is your reaction? And the only way you can figure it out is by focusing on forgiving yourself. Sometimes forgiving your own self is the hardest thing to do because we expect a lot from ourselves. We pedestalize our own identity. We demand perfection from ourselves. We demand, like, you're going to do this, you can do that, blah, blah, blah. But it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be flawed. It's okay to be a learner. Well, everybody is making mistakes. Everybody is learning here. Even God, when Vishnu comes to planet Earth as Krishna and Ram, they don't have the memory that they are Vishnu. They're also crying and they're also sad. The reason why I love the Sanatan epics is because they don't show God like God doesn't suffer or God doesn't go through anything. On the contrary, most of our gods and goddesses have tough lives. And look at Jesus. Jesus has such a tough life, such a difficult life. And still, he's got the ability to forgive others. He keeps saying, forgive them because they know not. And it's not like Jesus got crucified and he never made it. Actually, the real story or the real focus should not be on Jesus's crucifixion. It should be on his resurrection. That's my opinion. Because the resurrection story is far more magical and powerful and it has so much faith. Anyone can crucify anyone. There's crucifixion happening. But everybody, even in the churches, you see, poor Jesus is always shown crucified. He should be actually shown emerging from the light, which he did. He did. Despite all of those things that he went through, all the pain, all the cruelty he went through, the physical pain was so much, the emotional pain was so much. Imagine someone pierces a crown of thorns in your head, but yet nothing happens to you. You're like untouched. This is the story that they don't talk about so much, like they do, of course, but it should be the highlight because that's what a magical person, a saintly person can do. No matter what you give to them, they'll always emerge more powerful, stronger, healthier, healed, walking through the light. And Jesus kept telling people, forgive them. The missing link here is forgive them, but also forgive yourself. Because at least Jesus knew Jesus was very elevated soul. We don't know that. We don't have the memory. We don't perform miracles daily, casually. But some of us have intuition, the gift of intuition, because we are in a very different time, you know. We are born in a very unique time frame. A lot of people also awaken because they stop doing things or they stop participating in activities or just social obligations or norms because they think that they no longer want to insult their soul. They are aware of the soul. When they become aware of the soul, when they know that this is not something which is aligned with me, they don't participate in those things anymore. And that's how they awaken more and more and more. So, whosoever I'm channeling for today, you have volunteered to planet Earth. You volunteered to incarnate here on Earth during a time of illusion where there's so much corruption, there's slavery of the mind, there's mind control via media programming, there is a whole lot of crazy situations happening. At the same time, the transition is happening, the dark age is ending. And because this is the time of transition, it's a time of transformation for planet Earth as well. And I had spoken in a couple of videos that this is going to be the year of reset. 2025 is going to be the year of reset because all of the planets are also going to be in this beautiful alignment, which is very rare. So, to incarnate or reincarnate and then volunteer for planet Earth at this point in time is actually the coolest thing to do for a soul. Like, as a soul, you filled in the application, you were the ones who kept going to God again and again. You went to the council of elders, you went to the ascended masters, and kept telling them, please send me to earth, please consider my application, please. And even as of now, you could be in the limbo state, or the daily grind or the rigmaroles of life could be making you feel like, oh, why am I doing this, why my life is like this. You could be complaining and whining and crying in a corner on some days. I'm not saying always, because you can't be resonating with this kind of a channeling if you're doing it every day. Maybe on some days, but every night when you go to sleep, via this beautiful arrangement of the silver cord, your soul is having a council. You're a part of the council, you're a part of the meetings. The spirit meetings are going on, and you're very busy, and you're like, yeah, everything is going fine. Everything is going great. Because you are, how they say, OG, the original gangster. You are the person, you came here with complete knowledge of all of this that is going to happen to you. Because the people who are born to awaken, they're born to grow, or they're just born to do these things here, volunteering stuff. They're going to do it no matter what situation they're into. They're going to do it. They know they don't have this kind of ego where they're so protective for their identity or their social image or public image. They've got lots and lots and lots of gratitude. Gratitude is the attitude that they have. Naturally, they practice it. They don't do it because someone taught them, they just naturally resonate with it. So, whosoever I'm channeling, you are here because you have got what it takes to be here and thrive. Yes, for some time you need to survive, because that's how you learn how to thrive. You cannot thrive, you cannot learn to fly without learning how to walk or even to stand, for that matter. So, whatever you're doing, it's really cool. You're very, very loved. You're very, very blessed soul, because you're doing the job that others cannot do. And that's your superpower. And you are the star energy here. And it indicates that future is full of inspiration, contentment, and there's a lot of positivity, motivation, a lot of freedom, because what you really want to do is be free. Freedom is what you value a lot. You don't want to be attached to anything, you just want to be connected with things. There's a very big difference in being attached and being connected. Connection is what is beautiful and freeing. Attachment is what is enslaving and dragging people down and keeping them tied up, not letting them be themselves. By logical thinking and reasoning, because there was a time when your masculine energy was not awakened to this level, it was distorted. Now that you are more practical and more logical, you're more conscious. You're not just emotionally conscious, you're also logically conscious. You don't see the world like the people, like they're people or anything. You see them like a mirror. Because only in the mirror, via looking at the reflection, you can see what you need to work on. The mirror will only show you the reflection of what you keep in front of the mirror, whatever you hold in front of the mirror, or whosoever you are as a person. When you stand in front of the mirror, you just see your own reflection. So you don't look at the world like the world, you look at it like fodder. This is the simulation you're in. And you need to know what levels you need to work more on, which places you need to unlock. Because you unlock, you unblock, you automatically align. An unconscious person, a sleeping person, an unawakened person is going to attack the mirror, is going to fight with the mirror, is going to try to fight with the reflection. How can you fight with the reflection? What has reflection got to do? Reflection has no control on itself. The reflection is bound to change if the image changes, or whatever is casting that reflection changes. So you're not fighting with the mirror or attacking with the mirror, attacking the mirror. You know it's a mirror. Whosoever resonates, whosoever I'm channeling for, you are that much conscious person that it's a mirror. Why am I doing this collective reading? Is for you to know that you're not alone. You're being taken care of. You need to take some rest, you need to relax, you have good sleep, you take good food. See, when your third chakra, sorry, not third chakra, third eye chakra, the Ajna chakra, when you fall into the alignment, there are lots of things you start doing. You become more conscious of what you eat, you become more conscious of how you sleep, you are conscious of your surroundings, how, why your energy is getting drained. You're very much aware. You're having mystical experiences. You're seeing lots and lots of signs and synchronicities. You're able to get better healing. You're able to receive downloads. Lots and lots of cool things are happening at the same time. So you're not seeing this, oh, what a big issue, what a challenge, oh, I'm hurt. You're like, I'm hurt. I'm not hurt. My soul is not hurt. The identity is hurt. This physicality is hurt. So, what's the solution? Because when you see yourself like a third person, like you're the observer and you're seeing a character, you're like, you know what? This is a solution. You're thirsty, you should drink water. Not, I'm thirsty, I'm thirsty, I'm thirsty, and crying and complaining. Why me, God? Why did you make me the thirsty person? God is saying, that's where the water is. Look, there's a bottle over here. But you're not going to look. Not you. I'm talking about the crying and complaining person is not going to look for water because they're busy complaining. The conscious and aware person is going to say, okay, my body needs water. I as in the body needs to drink water. They are very much conscious even of the I, that this I is only for the behavioral reality, for communication's sake. But otherwise, the soul is the real I, and the body is a physicality. It needs water, food, shelter, clothes, whatever. And you know that God is also providing you. You're not gonna make a fuss about having to get up and have a glass of water. So, this is where I'm going to close this collective reading for therapies and for reading one on one readings. To answer your questions, you can check out the description box and connect with me. Kindly do not share anything with me in advance, be it therapy or be it reading. We're going to talk about it when we get into the session, when we are face to face. So, I'll see you in the next one. One love, peace out, and victory to Ram.